Hey, it's noirnerd. Do the second part of my VirusZapper vlog. Just walking the dog. Thought I'd get a bit of fresh air. It's the only real way you can get fresh air at the minute. I mean, lockdown times. So in this vlog I'm going to talk a bit more about how I added more random movement to the NPCs in the game, and also how I decided to change the camera, because before, in the previous version of the game, the camera was on a set path, which I decided wouldn't really be conducive to decent gameplay. So I've added like a flying camera. It's interesting, the environment. I'm in Russia at the minute, that's where I live now, and the environment of the game is actually quite a lot influenced by that. You've got all the old Soviet style blocks, one of which is one of the flats I live in. But yeah, so anyway, onwards with the vlog, and if you like it, subscribe. In this one, like I said, I'll be mostly talking about what I've updated and what I think about going forward. So first I wanted to start adding, to increase the randomness of the movement, I started adding this random variables, just to see if I could make the movement appear a bit more random, because everyone was using, all the other characters before, moving in quite a uniform sort of way. So I did that, started by randomizing the x-axis. Well, they're still all following the same track, so it wasn't quite random enough. It was getting some weird behaviours as well, like as you can see there, it sort of zooms around quite fast. It goes slow at first, and then starts increasing, going faster and faster and spinning around. It just looks completely unnatural and ridiculous. Just sort of like they're almost on ice or something, and just skidding around on ice. It looks really weird, but even more than that, just yeah, it looked very strange. So I eventually decided to take out all these delayed movements. I think it was just a bit too much. I was losing track of where these things were looping in. This is just a sped up version of fiddling with that for a bit. And I randomised the Z movement as well. I wanted to see what that would do. That created a very not what I expected. I think yeah, as you can see, the players started, the NPCs started floating off into space. That was just a mistake on my part. Just getting a bit too carried away with trying to make this random movement interesting quite fast, I suppose. So I've set it to fire every 2 seconds, this randomization. So it started to still quite uniform in a sense, but at least I didn't have the skidding around, which was happening before, which I think was a result of the randomized movements being too short. And I decided to create 2 random choices for the x-axis, and then use both, I think twice in different places. So one is after every 2 seconds on the loop, another one's every second. It resets to a random value. So that started to look a bit more interesting, a bit more natural anyway, I guess I'd say. Certainly a lot more natural, I think. And yeah, you've got less than none of that sliding around though, which is good. And this is just a little clip looking at that, exploring that. Next I decided to copy some of these entities. So I've got an entity there which has got a bunch of these person objects in there with the script. So I decided to copy that over and over again, so it creates a lot of them. That's what I did. Copied that, copied it a few times. Wanted to just see like what it would look like with more of these objects running around, just more of a crowd, I suppose. And I could probably even expand on it even more than that, just to see how the movement looked and how if it looks natural. If it looks certainly more random now because they're obviously starting off pointing in different directions. I could probably randomize that even more. So yeah, that's what I was doing here, just sort of having a look at it, seeing if it looked right. It does look a lot more random, a lot more better with more of these players and NPCs in there. And then this next part is just me. I wanted to start modifying the camera basically. So before it was on Rails camera, and I wanted to change that because I just thought it was a bit, it wouldn't be conducive to good gameplay. So I started experimenting with that. I used a first person control example from playcanvas. I didn't want to really reinvent the wheel, but as you'll see from this sort of sped up video, it took me a while because I basically, I didn't want it so that it would be you'd be on the ground. I wanted it so you could fly around. So I was sort of getting there with this, but I messed up on my implementation because I had to put the script on a player entity. Instead of that, I put it on, I think I put it on the camera at first, so I spent a bit of time just messing around with that, trying to figure out why it wasn't working, and then eventually I had a light bulb moment. But this is just me sort of like looking through all this and just like, why isn't it working, why isn't it working? Because it wasn't picking up the mouse movement, so it wasn't getting any ability to look around. I was being very confused. I was also playing with the physics at this point, so doing a bit of experimentation with the physics to go and get that right. And yeah, and at this point I was just looking at the script, trying to figure out why isn't it working, and getting confused. I thought at first of all maybe it's something to do with the camera path still being on, so I turned that off. At this point I had WASD working but not the scrolling, so I was getting a bit frustrated with that. But it was sort of getting there at this point. Yeah, so let's just see where we go next. Obviously there's still some issues here with the players being able to go off the map. I still haven't programmed that in. I'm putting a program in walls or something, I guess, like a sort of end of the map. Yeah, like I said, I sort of got stuck with this for a while until I had a light bulb moment, which as I said before. Then sort of started looking at like the idea of having a jetpack or something, so a sort of way to change the y-axis. So I just experimented this wide camera up setting, just using spacebar, mess around with that for a little bit, which is what you can see here. And the physics as well, tweaking that a bit, and then finally, after much tweaking and messing around, we got the end result, which is this. That's a little bit about how things have progressed. And I think next stage is some particle effects, adding some sort of targeting system, probably like on the UI like target, then adding some events for when I click on a player, and also of course very importantly adding in the virus itself and also pathfinding AI for that. So tune in next week for that, and like and subscribe if you like this. I've been noirnerd, walking the Jagger, the dog in Moscow. See you next episode.